Hey everybody, welcome back here to my Maverick project where I'm building a recreation of the classic Maverick roller coaster from Cedar Point. Today I'm doing quite a lot of work actually. I'm skipping around doing lots of bits here and there, so stick around for the whole video to see what I get up to. But first of all, I'm just starting off with doing the queue line for the ride. Now the queue line is quite straightforward. I need to do a cattle pen and add some of the details in, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm building some custom fences there using some Shy Guys, I think it's from the dining set and from Shy Guys 4. Use pieces from those sets to do that. And in real life, the queue line has this vending machine which is right in the middle of the cattle pen, and the vending machine in the game cannot be connected to a queue line path. So unfortunately, it is unfunctional. But I wanted to have it there because there is one there in real life. So I think it's essential to add it there, so I've just got it there. I did the same with the one in Raptor. Raptor has a random vending machine as well in the queue line, and that one wasn't functional either when I built that recreation. So I've just gone ahead and done that. I've got rid of the in-game queue rails or fences. I don't really like them, and also I find that the queue lines are too wide. I think one tile wide for a queue line in the game is a bit too wide, and when I do like my own projects or recreations, I like to get rid of the fences and make them a bit skinnier. Obviously sometimes you have to use the full tile, which is fine. I think it looks okay, but when doing recreations especially, I really think it looks better when you kind of get rid of them and make them a bit skinnier and do like two kind of queue line rails per tile, or you know what I mean. So I've just done that, and I've just covered up the vending machine there with like a wooden facade, add some foliage in there, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do some like these lantern light things which I've seen pictures of, which like I thought I could make them custom in the game, and it worked out to be quite possible, and I did it and they look very similar to what they should. So I've just done that there, saving that as a blueprint so I can copy it onto the other side, make my life a bit easier. And then I'm just going to continue this fence off around now. I actually did this a bit too small to begin with, and I do change it later on, but it's the same thing, so don't need to show you me building it twice. But I'm just using again the pieces from Shy Guys dining set, and then filling in the middle of the wooden bit with a Shy Guys 4 fence, and that gives me like a nice area then to add some foliage, and it gives the queue, the pathing, sorry, an edge where I can add in this kind of brown soily color, and then put some logs there as well. I believe there's logs there in real life which you can kind of sit on, and it's all kind of shaded by trees. So I just need to add trees in there. Unfortunately, that gap I just did is not quite big enough for the amount of trees I'd like to put in. And there is a anti-collision mod that you can download. Now it's good because you can put loads of trees in and they don't have a clip box, meaning you can just pack as many trees in one area as you can, and they're not gonna clip each other or erase each other as this game does. But unfortunately, if I use the collision mod, the trees I used as support killers on the coaster then become non-functional, because the collision is then taken off those trees, meaning that the in-game supports on the coaster will come back. So we don't want that, and so we keep the collision mod away from this recreation. And if you do download this eventually when I upload it on Steam, I recommend that you do not have the collision mod installed. I actually learnt this in Busch Gardens, where I was doing my Busch Gardens project and I wanted to pack some more trees in, and I thought, it'd be a great idea to download the collision mod. And so I put it in, and when I opened up the park, every single support came back on every coaster, and that park was nearly finished at the time. And I thought, oh my god, and I had to just try and get rid of the mod and then correct it, and I could load the park up again. I didn't save it, thank god, so it was all fine. But all that work I put in with the trees underground to get rid of supports was lost, so we don't want that in this, so I'm just not going to have that mod installed. So right now I'm actually doing this kind of food court, restaurant, fast food area. I'm not sure actually what it's called again. I did know when I was building it because I looked at the reference photos. But this building is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And when I saw pictures of it, I thought I could do that in the game. It's definitely the right pieces. I have the pieces in the right. Shy Guys 2 has these really good clapboard pieces which are perfect for this. So I've gone ahead and used those, and I've just kind of copied what I can see in the picture, to be honest. And it's looking pretty good compared to the real one. I don't really remember this building from when I was there. I didn't really take in that much of the surrounding buildings. I really was focused on the rides and the coasters. But I wanted to add this in because I really think it adds to the atmosphere of Maverick and the surrounding area. I really like to include a lot of the restaurants and buildings and things, so that the recreation looks really full and like I've captured an area of Cedar Point rather than just a standalone ride. So that's kind of why I do these kind of big recreation projects. Um, I've said before, I've said it again. I've really enjoyed doing these recreations. I don't always enjoy doing them, but recently I have been, and I'm really looking forward to doing a few more. I've got one on my channel right now, I think. I'm recording all these videos on the same day and then having them put out as scheduled videos. So I'm not sure if the new recreation video is online yet or not, but I think it is. So I hope you're enjoying that. And I do have plans to do another recreation because I'm really feeling the recreation vibe at the moment. Being inspired by these real rides, and I really enjoy building them. So do leave suggestions down below if you want to see other recreations. I've had some suggestions already, but I'm always open to more. And the most popular one I tend to go and build. Sometimes I build the layout and see how it is and take it from there. If the layout's not looking too good, then I kind of scrap it and try another one. If the layout worked out okay, then I try and figure out, okay, what's the next step, and then take it from there really and see how it goes. Sometimes coasters with heavy terrain scare me a little bit because it's really tricky to get the terrain correct, and they are a bit of a challenge, and I'm up for doing some, but they are a bit harder than doing these kind of ones that I'm doing now, because Maverick is very flat. It's on a very flat land, so it's not too difficult to figure out where everything goes. So back to what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of tidying up the path edges and adding in some more foliage. I just need to go in and just tidy up the car ride area. There is this very large vintage car ride there in real life, and it kind of goes through all the trees. And I believe they use real petrol or diesel, I'm not really sure, but they use real gas, and they drive around. I'm not sure how economically good that is, but they are a classic attraction, and definitely a loved ride at Cedar Point, I believe, especially among the families. And so I wanted to include a little bit of that in this recreation as well. So I'm just tidying up the path edges there with some path covers to make it nice and curvy and smooth. I really love to do that. I think it really makes a difference. And then I'll go in and just kind of dress up the car ride a little bit. The car ride is only a small section of it. I didn't want to do the whole thing because it actually doesn't fit on my map. But I wanted just to do a part of the layout which comes close to where Maverick is. And I thought that really was like a necessary thing to do. So I'm just going to go in and dress that up with some trees and some terra painting and lamps and that kind of thing. So I'm just going to go in now and start doing that. So I'm just adding the trees. I've said before, I really like to add trees in from above because then you can really see all the gaps and where you need to put them. So often I tilt the camera up and down and you can get a good view. And then I'm just kind of texturizing the grass now with some of the darker green terra painting, and then adding like a green concrete around the edge of the track to make it really look like it's been there for a long time. And now I'm just going to do some lamps, real simple ones, using some poles and these little black pillar pieces, and then a little lantern. So now I'm just going to continue on tidying up the edges of the path up over by the wave swinger, which will then lead me over to the other side of the bridge, on the other side of the pond lake thing. So I will get on to doing that another day as well, but it's looking really good so far. It's definitely coming together, and it's definitely approaching being finished. I like to do all the kind of path tidy up stuff towards the end. I think if you do it towards the beginning of the project, things change and morph constantly as I'm doing these recreations, so a lot of work gets wasted then. So if I leave all like the tidying up the paths and the edges to the end, then it's, I only have to do it once and not have to delete it and do it again. So that's good. Now, I thought it'd be a good idea to add a small section of Steel of Vengeance, because actually the beginning of the ride and a part of the station would actually be on the map. So I thought it'd be a wise idea to add it in. So I'm just going to go ahead now and just kind of build that beginning turnaround section. Unfortunately, this is the only part of the ride you're going to get. You're not going to get a full recreation of Steel of Vengeance. I think that would be really difficult to do in this game. Like, really, really difficult. I could do the track layout, I think, but I think when it comes to all the support work and stuff, I think it'd be too difficult. Maybe possible, but it's not really something I would like to do. I think it would drive me mad a little bit. I used to build a lot of wooden coasters in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 and do all my own wooden supports for them, and I always liked how it looked in the end, but it drove me mad when I did it, so I don't know if I want to do like a Steel of Vengeance recreation. I'm still waiting for the RMC hybrid coasters to come into the game. Whether or not they will, I don't know. I know there was a mod that was being worked on, but it never got released. It looked great, but it had some teething problems. I'd really love to see one in the game. I think it'd be a great addition to the game. I know everyone would love it, and everyone would be building all their favorite RMC coasters. But for now, I do build small RMC coasters using the Kiddie Coaster and Coaster Anarchy mod, which then makes you be able to do inversions and things with it. But yeah, that's the only way you can get around it right now. But for now, I've just used the small corner of the Kiddie Coaster, just doing a station using Shy Guy's 3 wooden pieces, and just kind of looking at a picture of what I think the station looks like. I'm not really sure because there's not many pictures of it from this angle or from this side, so I've just had to kind of look at a picture and then take an educational guess with some of the pieces. But that is basically all I have to show you for today's episode. I do think this will be finished in the next maybe 2 episodes or so, but thanks for watching and sticking around. I've just put a couple screenshots at the end just to show you what I've done today. But thanks for watching. Do hit that like button and click subscribe if you're not already. And I'll see you all next time for another episode of whatever I've got going on my channel. Stay safe. Bye.